In the heart of a bustling metropolis, the camera pans over sleek glass buildings catching the morning sun, moving smoothly inward to focus on a high-end office lounge. The mood is vibrant yet tense, the energy crackling like static in the air. In the center of this corporate playground, a man named Julian, mid-level in rank but high in confidence, shines brightly for an audience of peers. He's orchestrating a show, turning the work environment into his stage. His gaze falls on a quiet man seated in a corner, clutching a notebook like an anchor in the storm. Mr. Thorne, they call him, a name whispered but rarely acknowledged in the corridors of power. Julian, with a smirk of self-congratulation, zeroes in on Thorne, making him the butt of his jokes, casting shadows on a figure he believes too inconsequential to matter. Yet, beneath Julian's superficial arrogance lies an intrinsic folly. He embodies a specific kind of fool, one who mistakes quietness for powerlessness, who reads the surface and believes it reveals the entirety of the map. What Julian doesn't see, what so many of us fail to recognize, is the dangerous game he plays. In the rush to exploit and belittle, he forgets a cardinal truth. To respect others, one must first respect the gravity of one's own existence. With every jab, every glib remark, Julian unwittingly pulls on strings that bind him more closely to his own fate. Here sits our question. What happens when you gamble not knowing when the stakes are your very own? In the days that follow, Julian turns Mr. Thorne into a personal punching bag, his own comedy show. We see a montage of Julian's so-called cleverness. He spills coffee onto Thorne's meticulous notes as if by accident, diverts crucial emails that then turn into missed meetings, all the while feeding the carriers of the past with tales of Thorne's ghostly uselessness. Julian believes he's creating a compelling narrative, one where he's the hero and Thorne the expendable extra. Yet he is unaware of another narrative being woven quietly alongside. Thorne's presence is deceptive in its subtlety, the kind that requires one to look deeper. While Julian juggles roles for his audience, Thorne records every intent with the precision of a historian, every malicious trick, every deceit cloaked as banter. Julian presumes power is loud, but true power often is silently watchful, waiting. In this corporate epic, the simplicity of Thorne's exterior masks something much more profound. While Julian paints himself as the king of this mundane chessboard, he remains oblivious to the real game's rules, those etched not in the ink of emails, nor in the binding of contracts, but in the willful patience of the silent observer. Then, the morning of reckoning arrives, unremarkable in its approach. A major board meeting calls the players to the stage, Julian ready and rehearsed for a shining debut, a presentation stolen as deftly as a magician works illusions. He scans the room, seeking the approval and applause he believes is his due. The door swings open, carrying with it a wave of cold, heavy silence. The atmosphere crystallizes as Mr. Thorne enters, not to occupy the dismissed corner, but to take his rightful place at the head of the table. It is a transformative moment that shifts the fabric of the room's reality, a silent assertion of mastery and control. The mockery of past days crumbles. Julian feels the fool. The comedy is cut short with surgical precision. The quiet man he tormented controls his destiny, standing revealed as the unseen architect of Julian's world. Julian's ambition now turns inward, a black hole consuming his earlier pretense as he realizes his folly too late. The illusion of control has already dissolved, leaving Julian with the echo of his own arrogance, now a cage he built, node by node. The tension in the room is as tangible as the steel and glass framing the building. You can feel Julian's heart plummet as the very company he sought to dominate slips away from grasp, each action of his past now a weight that pulls him down. The end is swift and unceremonial. Julian is escorted out, his career path now veiled in uncertainty. As he glances back, he notices peers turning away, unwilling to share in the smoke of his downfall. Once, laughter followed his every move. Now, only silence accompanies his departure. This is not Thorne's revenge, it's Julian's own doing. In the silence that follows, the office resumes its rhythm. Thorne returns to his desk, where he carefully closes his notebook, each movement a testament to genuine peace, not performed cordiality. In his solitude, Thorne finds a profound quiet that Julian never perceived, one that embodies real strength. The final image lingers as we pull away from Thorne's peace back into the wider world outside. There, Etched into the clothes is a lesson Julian never learned. Respect is not a gesture. It's the air that sustains this new world's intricate interconnections. Without it, we risk unraveling our own threads in the grand tapestry. If the water's depth is unknown, beware of the impulse to throw stones. For while the quick winds of arrogance may feel momentarily sweet, they often come packaged in consequences we fail to foresee. In the end, you must ask yourself, whose story are you living? Before the answer fades into the background hum of life's ongoing narrative, remember, respect the unknown, guard your intent. The outcome is already written, and it may not favor the unwise observer of fleeting applause. This theme of respect is not new. It echoes through time, a whisper from history's silent teachers. Consider the tale of Icarus from Greek mythology, a lesson about the perils of pride and the critical importance of knowing one's limits. Much like Icarus, Julian's disregard for the complexities of the environment around him led to his metaphorical wings being clipped by his own hubris. This is not merely a story about one man's journey. It is a larger reflection of human behavior, a cautionary tale that has been rewritten in endless variations across cultures and epochs. From the ancient fables of Aesop to the cautionary folk tales of indigenous peoples around the world, each narrative underpins the essential truth that we are but one part of a larger chorus. Yet human history seems to repeat in cycles. With each new generation, the temptation grows strong to view the world as a backdrop for individual triumphs, ignoring the symphony of interconnected systems that balance our existence. Our industries expand, our cities grow, and in the quest for progress, the stakes only increase. Balancing on this precipice, the challenge remains. Will we heed the lessons of those who strove before us, or will we falter in the allure of transient achievements? As you mull over these thoughts, consider the role each of us plays in this unfolding drama. Respect is not a passive state. It demands active participation and awareness. It's in the simple choices made each day, the decision to listen more than speak, to seek understanding over judgment, and to value collaboration over conquest. In the end, it's about the legacy we choose to leave. Are we architects of a future built on mutual respect and sustainable progress, or merely temporary sparks illuminating a path of overreach and oversight, quickly forgotten by those who come after? The choice remains ours. If we can learn to see beyond the immediacy of our desires and embrace the shared stewardship of our world, we open a path towards harmony. A path where the mistakes of Julian, and indeed, all too many of our predecessors, need not be repeated. For in that moment of collective realization, we truly begin to weave a new narrative, one of promise, wisdom, and enduring respect for the delicate fabric of life that unites us all.